What's going on, traders? It's Afonso with Afonso Analysis. It's pretty late now. It's 9:30. It's a Monday, the 5th of June. And if you don't know, every week I trade live. I document my trades and post them on YouTube just so you guys can learn from my thought process as I'm taking these trades and how I hunt for these trades. Now, if you know me by now, the first thing that I do when I analyze my charts is I go to my DXY. I start with the DXY because the DXY tells me a lot about the strength of the dollar. Initially, what I do when I get to any market is I want to know where are we at the moment. So for that reason, I'm going to mark my high and I'm going to mark my low just to gauge the market. If you check here, the market pushed to the downside and we found some support around that zone there, which makes sense if you drag this to the left, because the last time we were there we had a bit of problem before we shot to the upside. So it's not a surprise that the market did the same when it came here, but this has already happened. It's no use to me right now. What I'm interested in, because I'm a day trader, what I'm interested in is what's happening at the moment. What is the market doing right now? After bouncing from that zone, we shot to the upside. Now, I was expecting the market to come back to this zone here to bounce here, or if it decides to stretch, then I was expecting this level here. Now, as you can see, the market didn't get to any of those levels, and now we are seeing a retracement. Let me just zoom in lower to understand what is the market doing right now. So if you check here, we've been shooting to the upside, and as you can see, we are getting that rally. Now, the reason I am considering that as a turning point and not this level here or this level here is because the market has now broken the previous structure that it created on its way up. And in any market, if we're going to break a structure, we're going to come back to retest before we can continue with that push, maybe back to these levels here. We will see about that, but that is what I'm expecting tomorrow. As you can see, we are getting a bit of structure there. The market looks like it's preparing to gear to the downside. Now, it might push up a bit to this zone here, or it might start shooting to the downside from where it is right now. That's fine. We will trade the market for what it is, but what I'm expecting tomorrow is a push to these levels here on the DXY. And if I'm expecting the DXY to do that, and this is very important because this is my confirmation, if I'm expecting the DXY to do that in terms of market structure, since it has already violated the previous structure, if I'm expecting the market to push, retest and shoot to the downside, then I'm expecting the opposite with the EURUSD, GBPUSD and the New Zealand dollar USD. Let's just start with the EURUSD so you can understand what I mean. So let's go back to 4 hours. Because the first thing that I do when I open any chart, I go to my 4 hours and I mark my high and my low, because I want to gauge the market and understand where are we at the moment. Because I'm not interested in catching this whole move here. I'm a day trader. I want to catch this move here, right? And this move here and get out, and this move here and get out, and this move here, and so on and so forth, right? I'm not interested in staying in the market for 2-3 days or whatever the case may be. I want to chow the market as it moves. So I'm interested in what's happening right now. What is the market doing right now? And if you check here, we found resistance there and we found support there. Now, what is the market doing? It's in the middle of nowhere. If I'm expecting the DXY to push to the downside, then I'm expecting the EURUSD to push to the upside. Now, the question that I need to ask myself is the EURUSD telling me the same story? Is the EURUSD telling me that the market is pushing to the upside? Well, let's zoom in lower and understand what is the market doing. Let's look here. The market has recently pushed to the upside and violated a bit of structure there. When you check on the left, we just violated that level there and we shot to the upside. Now, for any market that's going to push to the upside, we do expect a retracement before we can start shooting to the upside. Just based on market structure, this is what the market does, because the market moves in waves. It's not just a random chaotic place with candles just moving up and down. It moves in a rhythm, it moves in a structure, and this is a structure the market will take if it's to push to the upside. Now, has the market done that? Of course, the market has pushed to the upside, and now we are getting that retest before we can shoot to the upside. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Now, is it a surprise that the DXY is telling me that it's going to push to the downside? Is it a surprise that the DXY is giving me the opposite of what the EURUSD is giving me? It's not a surprise. It's not a surprise, because I've already planned for it. And if I'm expecting the EURUSD to do that, I'm expecting the GBP to do the same thing, because the EURUSD and the GBPUSD moves the same way. Let's go to 4 hours, because that's what I do in any chart that I open. I go to my 4 hours to mark my high and my low, and then I'm going to zoom in closer. Let's just see what is the GBPUSD doing. Is the GBPUSD telling me the same story as the EURUSD? Is it saying that it's going to be pushing to the upside or to the downside? Because if I'm getting contradicting stories between these two, then I'm not checking the trade. If the dollar is telling me that it's going to be pushing to the downside, but when I go to the euro is also telling me that it's going to push to the downside, then I must stop and observe and think, whoa, what is happening? What is happening right now? Why are these pairs not agreeing with each other? And this is the beauty of trading this way. We go to our GBPUSD, we're on a 1 hour time frame, and we want to see what is the market doing right now. At the moment, we are at a bit of a critical zone that we are finding some resistance, and that will make sense because we found a resistance before that. But the most important thing here is that the market has recently pushed to the upside and violated a structure that it created there. You see that? The market found a bit of support before it could break that level, but when it came back, it just shot straight to the upside, which means it violated the structure here to the left. And in any market that pushes to the upside and violates structure, we expect it to retest and then to shoot to the upside. If it's to continue pushing to the upside, because if it's not doing this, then it's not pushing to the upside. So let's take this structure and drag it down to see, is the GBPUSD doing that in terms of market structure? Remember, we are price action traders. We don't check the news, we don't have algorithms, we don't have weird looking indicators on this chart. We're just looking at these candlesticks, looking at how these candlesticks form structures and break structures, and we make a decision from there. And that is mind-blowing. Let us look at GBPUSD. It shot to the upside, violated this previous structure here, and now we are getting that retest before we can then push to the upside all the way to around 2.5 level, that side there. And this is such a beautiful thing, because that's exactly what I'm getting from the EURUSD, that the EURUSD just violated the previous structure, and we are getting that retest, then we're going to be pushing to the upside. And that makes sense because the DXY is doing the complete opposite of that. The DXY just shot to the downside, violating the previous structure, and now we are getting that retest, then we're going to be shooting to the downside tomorrow. Let's observe the New Zealand dollar USD to see, is this theory correct? Is what I'm doing here correct? Because I chose these pairs quite deliberately. I'll speak about how I chose these pairs in terms of pair correlations and stuff like that. If you want to know about that, just smash the like button and subscribe to the channel so I can notify you when I come up with that video. But I chose these pairs quite deliberately because they all tell me the same single story. If they all disagree with each other, I'm just not going to take a trade because I didn't get my confirmation. Let's go to New Zealand dollar USD, switch to 4 hours and do the same. We're going to mark our high, and what else are we going to mark? You guessed it, our low. And then we're going to move in to our 1 hour to read the structure. We want to understand what is the New Zealand dollar USD doing. And if you understand market structure, what the New Zealand dollar is doing is it pushed to the downside, then we pushed a bit up, and then we came back for a double bottom, and then we shot to the upside, violating the previous structure there. And now what we are getting is that retracement before we can shoot to the upside. Now this is the same thing as what's happening on the GBPUSD and EURUSD. Let me just cancel that if it's too confusing for you guys. Let me just cancel that and do it like that. We just pushed to the upside, violated the structure, and now we are getting that retest before we can shoot to the upside. We just violated the structure here. So this is where the market is coming now. This is where it's coming to give that retest, and then we're going to take our trade right here, and then we're going to get that execution to the upside just like that. Stop loss will be below structure once all of this has played out, and then we're going to target that. Let me just do the same with the GBPUSD here. Our trade is going to look something like that. You know, we are getting that retest, execute, stop loss below structure, 1 2 3, but ideally we are coming back to these levels here. EURUSD, same thing is going to happen. We are getting that retracement. Gonna take our trade around that level there, stop loss below structure, all the way to our take profits. DXY, if you trade DXY, we're gonna be getting the same thing. Now I don't trade a DXY because it's a bit heavy for me, but this is what it's gonna look like. This is what your trade is gonna look like all the way back to the downside. Now I don't know if you guys understand what's going on here, but this is such a liberating way to trade, because when I get into the markets, I'm no longer confused as to what am I looking for, what is the market doing, because I used to do that a lot, man. When I started trading, when I was still losing money in these markets, I did that a lot. I changed strategies a lot. I was so confused. I would watch a video and a YouTuber would make this thing make so much sense, but when it's time for me to do it on my own, it never worked out, you know. And trading this way, this is not so much of a strategy, but it's just based on how the market moves. It's just based on the candlesticks, because candlesticks are the very language of the markets. This is based on candlesticks. I'm just looking at these candlesticks here, and I just read what these candlesticks are telling me. And trading this way, traders, it's such a liberating way to trade. But that's it, man. I talk too much. It's just about 10 to 10 around here in South Africa, and I'm still up, man. I'm just coming up with some fire content for you guys. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also click that bell notification, because that's when I'm going to notify you as I come up with new videos. But it's Afonso with Afonso Analysis. Stay tuned for this week's weekly trading series, because I do this trading series live every week, where I go into the markets, I show you guys what I'm looking for, how do I hunt these trades, and how do I execute, all the way to managing the trades and taking profits. So if you like that kind of stuff, make sure to stick around. Otherwise, it's Afonso with Afonso Analysis. Good night.